All right. Well, Hunter Archibald.
What's his middle name?
Lee.
That's right.
Hunter Lee.
Hunter Lee.
Archibald III. He is
Strong.
out of the studio.
Southern.
He's out of the studio. Chris is in the studio. Welcome back inside
Thank you.
the studio.
Glad to be here
For a quick debrief of
the Hunter Archibald.
Lee Archibald.
Oh, you said the full name.
Hunter Archibald
Esquire.
the third. He's a big Astros fan. Did you pick up on that?
I did.
Yeah.
It was probably the most controversial part of
Give me any quick thoughts? I mean, he likes baseball cheating. We talked about that. So I guess we'll just move on already.
I mean, I think
Probably
there's a
nothing to
great
add there.
baseball book called Bang the Drum Slowly.
Yep.
And look, I'm banging the microphone.
What are you doing with your feet?
with my
We're
feet.
just recording. What
I know,
are you
sorry,
doing?
but
Are you
I
getting
don't
comfy?
I
Getting
don't
comfy.
have the feet situation all as I'd want to.
That's true.
Right now.
For those of you who can't see, since we don't have a camera on, Chris is now every other episode or so taking his shoes off and then sometimes leaving his shoes on. So
Mixing it up.
a
All for you.
bit. So speaking of mixing it up, let's talk about Hunter's interview. Do you have first impressions when you were listening to it? We missed you while you were gone. We're glad you're back.
Thank
Full
you.
and restored
Ready.
health from
Prepared.
all of your medical diseases you had.
Oh, it was just a head
That's
cold.
okay, we don't need to worry about that.
It's just a head cold. Yeah.
Did you have first impressions of it? Hearing his story, his take, kind of new believer.
I have never met Hunter in person.
Okay. He's a real person.
I was planning on meeting him last week in the studio where we would have a great podcast episode, but unfortunately that didn't work out.
Read the book!
Write the book. All right. I'll be quick. But he came across as completely genuine.
Yeah.
And as I told him on a text, I believe thanking him for his podcast duties. I don't know him, but he's my new best friend.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What a great episode for Hunter.
I know.
He made new best friends.
I mean, he shared who he was.
He's
and
very genuine.
liked what he said. Very genuine. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I appreciate you
It's repetitive,
said first. Okay, thank you.
Yes,
I don't know if this might become an old man rant for both of us.
Uh-oh.
I just appreciate blunt honesty these days.
Honesty.
Blunt. I don't want to sugarcoat stuff. Like, I'd rather just someone tell me what they think or their opinions or their values, like, right away.
All salt, no sugar.
Yeah, like, why, people who just come up with puns every 2 seconds, when they have a conversation like this,
Very quick-witted.
they can just be I'm assuming you appreciate the same thing. Someone's
I
just
do.
honest right away.
Right away.
Yes.
Going to give us some stories.
Yes.
Going to tell us about evangelizing in a bar.
Did you pick up on that?
I did.
Yep.
Maybe what we know of evangelizing is a little different.
Some will never know. We weren't there.
No,
So
we
all
weren't.
we know is he said sharing the gospel.
I'm
in a
going to
bar.
take him at his word or at the word.
You were good.
Yeah.
Wow, you were really witty today. It's been a couple weeks.
It's been a couple
You were
weeks.
like on it right now. Love it.
Yes.
Here we go. Coming in hot. Let's go. So
Goodbye, last listener. It was nice having you hanging on for as long as you did.
it's been like
Yes.
2 minutes.
Hopefully, Hunter's episode will bring us some new friends.
Man, we need best friends here.
Yes.
It's very quiet here on the pod lately. No, I appreciate his honesty and his I think we've all had different misconceptions about Christians, or growing up before. If you're in or out of the church, if you're a Christian or if you're not a Christian, I mean, I've judged so many people wrong, and you realize, man, you just don't know much of anything as you get older. And hopefully you humble yourself and the playing field's a little bit more even. But I just remember coming to the faith later in life, similar to Hunter, and one thing after another was like, oh, I had that wrong. Where did I get that from? And it's just such a cultural, like anything, it's just until you actually engage in something, you just take someone else's opinion as truth.
Extra biblical activity. Maybe that's what it is. It's
EBA.
not- yeah, EBA.
Yeah.
Stuff that we bring in that maybe doesn't have anything to do with.
Did you have before? So speaking of Hunter, I would have asked you this during the Hunter interview, actually.
Yeah.
Do you have like a misconception or two pre-Christian and then you realized later, like, oh, I was way off about.
Yeah,
Like-
I think I thought that I had to give up just everything that I was interested in.
Oh, yeah.
I had to trade Nirvana for Michael W. Smith. And that anything that I did beforehand was bad. I couldn't filter it through my own life experiences or anything. I had to completely take on a whole new life experience, which I don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody demanded that of me.
Sure.
But that was my thought was, okay, everything before bad, everything going forward, try your best to be good.
Yeah.
And there was no discipleship there to really, parse between. You don't have to give up who you are.
Yeah.
You just need to embrace who Christ is. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would say that there was some misconception there.
So you realize you didn't have, like, not everything was 100% bad.
Exactly.
There's still godly attributes, but I guess we just don't know what those are at that time.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense to me. I mean, it's because I wasn't a Christian. So how would I have known what it was like to be a Christian?
Right.
I wasn't a follower of Jesus. How would I know what that's like kind of on the other side? And I think like any kind of major decision like that, there's a faith element of like, okay, like I'm in. And then you just learn. I don't know, it's like jumping in a pool. You finally jump in the pool, and then you just get going on swimming to kind of figure that out.
Yeah, and if you don't have any kind of leadership there guiding you, then you're looking around at other people who are also in that pool saying, okay, what do we do now?
Probably just dog
What
paddling
happens
like
next?
crazy. Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? Oh man. Yeah, that's good. I appreciate his honesty and love what he was sharing. And then really love that this is my nerdy financial take, but I love that he's in that industry because he gets to, you mix it up with people on such an interesting level talking about money. So he gets to help and serve people like he has for the last 15 years, but he knows how to connect with all walks of life.
Yeah, he's on the front line of the heart, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's either God or money, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I loved how he said that, when he did come to faith, he fell across all the different scripture that have to do with money. And I thought that's neat for him because, it's not something that he has to turn away from. It's just something that helped him understand it even more and kind of enlighten his path a little bit more that, wow, I'm in a great position here to be able to help people understand this even more.
What did you think about him visiting a bunch of churches and them all talking about tithing on the same?
I think we've been there.
Sundays? Yeah.
I'm glad that I haven't had to do that in a long time, but I remember a similar journey of trying to find our home church, after Jess and I were married, and the same kind of thing. You just go in and it seemed like very creative messages that had to do with tithing. So immediately when he was talking about that, it put me back in that place of, that was a little bit hard. I wasn't a new Christian at the time, but still felt like the interest was in what was in our pocket, not in our, in our heart. So
what would you say to the person who is visiting churches right now? They're like, hey, yeah, I'm Hunter. I'm with you. I keep visiting. They're talking about money. Why are they talking about money all the time? Like, how would you respond to that person?
Read the book. No, I'm sorry. I would say,
like, what would you say to encourage that person? I've been thinking about that since we recorded.
There are quite a few churches out there, fortunately. Maybe look at that church's catalog of worship services or messages online, just to get a better understanding of what goes on, week to week. It's not always going to be the financial message. And so maybe give a little bit of leeway there and keep visiting.
Yeah.
That's one way to visit that you don't have to, wait until each Sunday to do. You can go and say, okay, well, do I resonate with what this pastor is saying? Does their message resonate with me where I'm at right now too? There's a lot of ways to take a peek at what's going on within a church. What about you?
It's a tension because no one wants to go try out a church or go visit to a place that's only interested. Like if I'm visiting and they're only interested in my money, or they talk about it all the time. I'm not talking about just 1 week, but they talk about it all the time, or every subject is about that. I mean, whether we're talking church, a nonprofit, a for-profit organization, I don't know, outside the door at a grocery store and just what anyone's only talking to you about you giving them their money. Okay, well, sure, that's a turnoff. I totally get that. Like, who's not turned off by that? Which, by the way, I think we're turned off because it's just not genuine. It's like, do you even see me as a person, or are you just thinking money?
Yeah.
So that's one side of it. But another side is churches should talk about money because money is such a big deal.
It is.
Hunter even made the point before he was a believer how often money's talked about in the Bible. And you go look it up or you go chat GPT it's one of the top topics discussed more than anything.
It is.
And is that because God needs money? Like, obviously not. But like you said, it's a doorway to the heart. So like it's a huge topic. So yeah, I've had that conversation with tons of people where normally I'm like, hey, just if you feel any connection to that church and as you guys are checking things out, like visit it more than once.
Yeah.
You know, if you go 4 or 5 weeks in a row, unless they're talking about a big project they're doing, odds are you're not going to be hearing about tithing every 2 seconds.
Right.
But try it out more than once, but also don't shy away just because they're talking about money. Like I don't think anyone would be shocked to think that money is a very relevant, important topic.
Sure. And I imagine a guy like Hunter could ask some questions about that too. So
Sure.
even if that person is out there that's saying, what do I do if they keep talking about money? Maybe ask some questions about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't hurt to ask. And what an opportunity for Hunter there too. This is a prayer for him that I think came from the episode, that when people are talking about, whenever this investment hits, or whenever this shakes out, I'm going to be set. I'm going to be, all of my wants and desires are going to come to fruition here
Because of Bitcoin.
right? Because of Bitcoin.
Sure.
Or what's your other favorite one?
Shiba. And some people like Fartcoin. That's out there. That's a real thing. Can't believe that. That's a shocker. But
that is
somehow it actually exists.
Mm.
You're right, though. Yeah, they think when I get to blank, I've made it.
Right.
Or I can rest or I can relax. It's chasing the carrot, basically.
How great to have Hunter there in that position to say, maybe wait, have you ever thought about this particular investment? However he would want to word it.
Sure.
Do it, but
Sure.
Yeah. So we need hunters out there doing that.
We need
in that
lots
world.
of hunters.
Yes.
Lots of hunters. In the fields.
Fishers of men,
And
hunters of men.
In the financial
In the financial field.
Archibalds.
Yes.
Butlers. So, okay, last question. Let's see if something else. So I'm going to put you on the spot as part of the debrief.
Can't wait.
Have you been guilty of thinking that way yourself about money when I get to like X balance?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people are like, when I get to $1 million, I will be blank. So what do you do with that? Like, how do you wrestle with that? And what do you do with that thought? Since I think you and I both know, and we're kind of confessing, that's not it. Right. And typically once you get to wherever that is, there's another level, right? It's just, there's a perpetual chase.
Yeah.
So what do you do with that thought if you're going home today and you're like, you know what? I do think when I get to this, I'll be all set.
Yeah. Fortunately, you and I talk about this quite a bit.
Yeah.
Things that I'd like to do career-wise, things that, that would bring, even more financial gain.
Yeah.
You and I have those kind of conversations all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And so, yes, it's a quick heart check, thankfully, at this point, because I know whenever I do start to think, wow, that would be great, or think about what this could do.
It's like a warning sign.
That check is always there saying, still, that's not going to be enough to separate you from needing to depend on me.
Yeah.
And
that's good.
I'm able to ground pretty quickly after that. So, given that situation where you actually do have, say, a financial windfall, then, that might be some uncharted territory where you're like, okay, well, what do I really put my money where my mouth is?
Sure.
Or
I've thought about that. And I'll jump into, so, it's not just putting you on the spot because I think that
get
way.
On the spot.
Well, I like productivity, goals, structure, stuff like that. So I always think of when you get to X point on the map or on the list. And so certainly money too, you think in terms of balances or something like that. I always kind of think, okay, so what happens when I get there?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'll have those conversations with people, whether we're talking about finances or not. And most of the time, most people don't have an answer. And I always kind of take that as, okay, that's probably a bad sign. Let's back up. Because I don't always have an answer. It's like, so what are you going to do when you get there? And if someone's like, well, I'm going to do this and this is my time, it's like, okay, let's talk about maybe why that is a strong interest to you. And maybe back it up. And what are you doing today that like moves you towards that interest? Because maybe that's something God's calling you to do. But I just sometimes play it from the opposite side.
Yeah.
So what would you do if you had that balance? So, someone may say, well, I'm going to finally quit my job because I hate my job, kind of a thing. Well, there's a great conversation there, whether or not someone gets to that balance, that point on the map of, let's talk about your job and your skills and abilities, and maybe there's a change to make today. I don't know. I sometimes play it from the conclusion and then kind of work my way backwards.
What happens when you are there?
Yeah,
and then put yourself in that position, and then what is life like at that point?
Yeah,
and I think that does help to reveal a lot of focus of the heart.
Yeah,
as well. Like where are you putting your confidence, and what is it that you're really seeking? Are you really seeking to be at a point to where you can give a little bit more freely, or is it so that you can be in a position to buy more stuff to make you feel like you're successful?
Yeah, that's a great point.
Or is it both?
It might be a mix.
Yeah,
that brought me to the Lord in a lot of ways in my 20s, because I think I chased a little bit of everything, and I just kept looking for meaning, whether it was through money or girls or career or stuff. I feel like I really feel like I kind of dipped my toe in the water of everything.
Yeah.
And every single thing came up short ultimately. Like, I mean, it may have been fun during the chase. There may have been, cool days that I experienced, but it was always like, this isn't it. Dang, okay, I'm going to pivot and do this instead. And I just kept going to the point where you're like, okay, none of this is working. So clearly something needs to change about my life. And that kind of started a turning point. But it's from chasing all those different carrots.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think, I'm still guilty of it today. I can get lost in chasing different things today. But I do think we're kind of walking around chasing a whole bunch of different types of things. And Hunter's probably financially coaching tons of people, chasing a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah. And that's the comfort of having somebody like Hunter in that position.
Yeah.
And knowing that that's not where his motivation comes from at this point.
Yeah.
He might have said that it was, before.
Sure.
But now it's a completely different perspective.
Yep.
And so, just at the heart of the motivation too, I think all of us want to get to a point to where we're independent, even of God.
Sure.
At times.
Yeah.
No, without knowing it or without even really thinking about it.
Yeah.
There will never be a point in time where we can be independent of God and be satisfied.
Yeah.
And there's never a day that we're not going to be provided for by God.
Yeah.
So that's comfort on the end of that too.
It's comfort. It's a hard realization if it's like a new concept for someone, but that's where I would ask someone to just, look at your life then.
Right.
And are you truly finding satisfaction on those other things? Because I think deep down, we all know people are going to go, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
And may be afraid to say it. And I totally understand why you'd be afraid to say it, but there is someone who really can satisfy, which is Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, Hunter Lee Archibald, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for your service, your butlery, your Astros love, I guess loyalty, something
Only
out there.
downside.
So who cares?
Yeah,
That's a negative. We'll pull the positive and say you're loyal. So you might be loyal to the wrong things or the wrong people, but you're still loyal nonetheless. So way to go. Maybe you read the book soon about the Rangers and
Read the book.
That is the debrief.
Thanks so much for joining us. Please consider rating and reviewing our podcast and hitting subscribe on whichever platform you prefer. Remember to keep moving forward because we're not quite there.